When would you say the first symptoms of schizophrenia appeared?
This summer, and I was turning 16.
And what happened?
I'd been kind of like trying to avoid I was afraid the government was watching me, so I didn't even feel safe in my own room. And my dad noticed I was acting weird and strange and saying I can telepathically talk with my neighbors. And I was very emotional, and he said, "You're not doing well, we need to take you to the hospital."
I mean, was it that feeling that the government was watching you that was the first unusual thought that entered your mind?
Well, the first thing was probably when I was trying to look for help in my mind, so I was trying to listen for something, and then I started hearing a voice. And I called her my friend because she was there and I needed comfort after my mom died.
This was a young woman who developed symptoms in her late teens, about a year after the death of her mother, and we should talk more about that later. Her mother had the same disorder, probably, and tragically died by suicide. Began with the voice of a single person, a young girl, but quickly became something else. She developed thoughts of the government having her under surveillance, maybe even that aliens were controlling what she said or did by the use of a machine. So she clearly had both hallucinations and delusions. This would be, the A criterion for schizophrenia. So what was that like going into the hospital for the first time?
I was really scared, and I didn't know that schizophrenia was an illness. I thought it was kind of normal. I didn't know that there's other people who had it too.
I got more of the sense of somebody who went through a period of being quite pained by their psychosis and quite distressed. I think we miss sometimes that schizophrenics may be depressed, not meeting a full depressive episode, but the pain of their illness can be quite great.
She talked, I thought, fairly eloquently about the pain that she was feeling when she made that suicide attempt, that all these symptoms and then the grief that she felt from her mother's death, really, I think what she wanted was to get away. She said she didn't really necessarily want to kill herself, but she needed help and she didn't know how else to ask for it.
Do you have a job too?
I work at a learning center with the kids there. I like working with young people. And I find when I'm interacting with people and talking to them, I'm less in my mind, I'm less lost in my imagination.
So that's another sort of coping mechanism.
It's kind of encouraged, motivated me to want to be in the public and try different things and be involved a lot because I don't want to go back to what I was before.